Okay, here we go. Algebra 2, Lesson 14. In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to write an equation of a line. And a linear equation, or one-degree equation, is the simplest kind of equation to graph. We have other equations, for instance, a cubic equation, which is 3x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x plus 6, or a quadratic equation, which is 7x to the fourth power plus 2x plus 6 equals 0. Those are more difficult. Luckily, in real life, we don't really use those equations very much. We use some more in science, but we use mostly linear equations, which are first-degree equations. So we're going to learn how to write equations based on information they're given us. And we're going to use the format, the y-intercept form. There's other ones that we can use, but right now we're going to concentrate on this format until we can understand it really well. And y-intercept form says y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Y-intercept means is where does the equation cross the y-axis. Remember, this is your y-axis, and this is your x-axis. Okay, so you should know that. So let's take these 2 points. Write an equation with those that passes through those 2 lines. So we know how to graph coordinates? Not we can go back to 5th grade. But basically it says negative, the first is x and y, and if it doesn't, should be a review, but if not, you can learn it now. So the first coordinate is x, second coordinate is y. So this is your x-axis. So negative 3, positive 2. Positive 3, negative 3. Then we simply do that. Okay? Now we want to know, we said to write an equation in slope-intercept form, you need 2 things. You need a slope and a y-intercept form. Well, it looks like it's crossing the y-axis on 0, negative 1 coordinate. But we're not sure because I just took these 2 points and I just drew a line, a hand did it, and plus my lines aren't even. If I had graph paper, it might be more exact. So we're not for sure if that's y-intercept. So we have to check it. We have to find a way. Well, we said we could find the magnitude between 2 points or 2 coordinates, which will give us a slope. So basically, I can come down here and come across to form a right triangle between the 2 points. And I want to know, how far do I have to run? Remember, it's the absolute value of the rise over run, or absolute value of the differences of the y's over the differences of the x's. Okay, that's the magnitude. So, looking at that, my y. So from here to here, what's the distance? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5. And the distance from here to here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want the absolute value, so it doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. Okay? So we get the absolute value of the 2. Whoops. Sorry, this is actually supposed to be 3. So this is actually should be 6. Because this coordinate is 3, negative 3, 2, and 3, negative 3. So this is 5. But from here to here, that should be 3. So from here to here is 6. So I had it wrong. So it's 5 over 6, or simply 5, 6. Remember, this coordinate right here is 3, negative 3. So we're going from 3 to negative 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here is from here to here, the y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 5, I said 2. Because this coordinate right here is negative 3, comma 2. Sorry about that. So, that's our magnitude, and that's our slope. However, we need to know, is it a positive slope or a negative slope? We start from over here, and we put a little car. Is the car driving downhill, or is the car driving uphill? if a car is driving downhill, it's got a negative slope. So therefore, it's going to be a negative m, it's going to be a negative 5 over 6. But now I need to find my b, my y-intercept. Could I find that? Yes, I could either use negative 3, 2, or 3, negative 3, and substitute it into this formula up here, the y equals mx plus b. So let's try both. We're going to take this, remember this is the first coordinate, your x, second coordinate, your y. So we're going to say 2 equals, what is my slope? We know that, negative 5, 6. What is x? Negative 3 plus b, and then I can solve for b, yes? So this becomes positive 1, 2. So I have 2 equals 5 halves plus b minus 5 halves minus 5 halves. This becomes 4 over 2. And this simply becomes a negative 1 half. You see that? I just renamed 2 to 4 over 2, and because they're different signs, I find the difference. 5 minus 4 is 1, and 5 halves is bigger, so I keep the negative there. All right, so let's try this one. So we said negative 3 is equal to negative 5, 6 times 3 plus b. 1, 2. So I got negative 3 and I left it negative 15 over 6 plus b, which we can do that. We're going to plus 15 over 16. So you have plus 15 over 16. So b is simply going to be 15 over 16, negative 3 minus that, which simply becomes 16. We can rewrite that to say 18, 40. Actually, we can rewrite that and say negative 18 over 6 plus 15 over 6, which gives me I'm sorry, I added a 1 here, which simply gives me 3 over 6, negative 3 over 6 because 18, 16 is bigger, or simply negative 1 half is equal to b. I get the same answer, sorry about that, I get the same answer no matter which set of coordinates I put in back to this formula. Because I solve for m, and I have a y and an x, I can solve for b. Okay? So that's all you do. And so now I've got my b, which is b is equal to negative 1 half. I can write my equation now, and it's simply going to say y equals negative 5, 6x minus 1 half. And you don't put those coordinates into the x and y. You leave the y's and x's, and that's the equation of that line. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do example 14.2. It said, find the equation of a line that passes through negative 4 and 7 and it has a slope of negative 3/5. Well, we said we need those two things. They gave us the slope, and they said the slope is negative 3/5. So we don't even have to look for that. And they said it passes through lines negative 4, 7. We've got to keep the x and y's clear. So we use our equation. We said y is 7, slope is negative 3/5, x is negative 4 plus b. So I can solve for b because it's what I need to write that equation. I need those two things to write an equation, a slope, an m, and a b, the y-intercept. So I get 7 equals 12 over 5 plus b. This simply becomes 35 over 5. Yes? 35 divided by 5 is 7. So I'm going to minus 12/5 from both sides. B is going to give me 23 over 5. So my b is 23 over 5. So my equation is y equals negative 3/5 x plus 23 over 5. And that's your equation. Simple as that. So to write an equation, you need a slope and you need a y-intercept. If they give them to you, then you simply put it in the equation. If they give you two sets of coordinates, you can find the slope by finding the differences in the y's divided by the differences of the x's and take the absolute value. Then you check to see if the line, well, you don't know that. Well, you have to plot them to see if your line is sloping down, which is negative, or if it's a positive slope going upward. Then you attach the sign to it. Then you take either one of the coordinates, like we did on a previous example, and substitute it for y and x, and substitute your slope to solve for b. Once you get m and b, now you can write your equation. Y equals m negative 3/5 x plus 23 over 5. So do all the practice problems for this lesson. And your code for this lesson is going to be on your lesson 14 homework that you're going to turn in. I want you to put an X with a circle around it at the top of your paper anywhere. I don't care. Top of your paper, X with a circle. Okay? Thank you. And erase it so you don't have it. You have to look at the video.